The Old People's Home for 4-year-olds. That's what it's called. The
Yeah.
title didn't make much sense to me, really, but that's what it's called.
I've written it in my notes as 408OPH, so I wasn't sure what that stands.
The Old People's
It's
Home
basically
for
a
4-year-olds.
scientific experiment, isn't it? It's based on something based in America.
It worked in the States where old people in general are feeling more isolated, they're feeling lonelier, and it's to benefit both sides. If you put a nursery class within a retirement home, it's to see the effect that the younger children of 4 and 5 will have on the elderly population who are feeling a bit cut off from the world, like their lives are reaching an end and they've got nothing to look forward to. It's also to help the younger children get a better understanding of what the elderly population face, and just to make it so that the two generations mix.
I remember that my nan telling me that she used to live with her grandparents, which I think is, very much, we're in a different lifestyle now where, families, the sort of nuclear family, grow up, you grow up, you move out of home, you get your own home. That might all change with, raising house prices and stuff. But certainly in like the 30s and 40s, generations would all live together. There would be 3 or 4 generations living in a house.
My grandparents moved in with us when they couldn't really look after themselves.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did your parents move in with your grandma as well? Is that right, Gary? Or am I misremembering that?
My uncle moved in with my nan before she then went into a home. But we all lived very close. I mean, we were like 5 minutes away. So, but when I think that the whole idea, as you say, of elderly and young people is something that's been missing in society for a number of years. And this experiment, as you say, showed that there are benefits to both sides. Although I think they focused a lot more on the benefits to the elderly. I think that's where the science really was based.
And the science was based on their mood. There's sort of an elderly depression scale. There was talk about their mobility, how quickly they can stand up from a sitting position. Did all of those tests, and then at the end, having spent 6 weeks alongside these young children, they performed all the tests again to some wonderful results. So
the one bit that I loved was that there was supposed to be 10 adults and 10 children, and that one of the adults from the who lived in the home joined in and made it 11. And I don't know, Luke said that he was tested, but he joined in kind of halfway through the first episode, just because he liked the idea of what was being presented.
Gary just spoke then about shares playing on your emotions. This did, but for me, it was...
Not in a manipulative way.
No, but it put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
It made me feel... I mean, there wasn't a bad bone in the program maker's body.
You'd have to be hollow inside.
It is a show that is really good, and you say about the scientific element, but to that seems like the least important bit of this. And I felt every time we flick to the scientist in a room watching on monitors, I was just like, oh, what do you do? But yeah, there were several moments in this where, as you say, brought a smile to my face and a tear to my eye. The lady, Zena, who'd come over from Holland with her husband, and he had early onset dementia. They lived in the home together. She was suffering from depression, and there was a scene where, as you said, because there was 11 old people and 10 little ones, when they had to pair up, she was almost left on her own. They had like duck eggs in the old folks home, and they hatched, and they said to the kids, well, one of the kids, do you want to pick an old person to take up and have a look at the hatched eggs? And they picked Xena straight away, and that sort of got me.
It's the end of the second week of the experiment. And this morning, there's been a development in the nursery.
Oh, look, Margaret, they've come out. Gracious. Oh, I wonder what these children will think of it when they come. I bet they'll be astounded.
It's hatched. Hey, miss, come and have a look. That's his mo, I think. There's 1, 2, 3, hatch.
For now, I'm going to ask Elias, would you like to choose an adult to help you? What would you like to ask, Xena?
Help me.
Fantastic. To find a child's hand in yours is one of the most moving things that can happen to you.
He wants to get out. It's so tight in there.
The most important things in life...
Don't be scared.
...is to be loved. And children have such pure and positive Love.
Hamish, who's this old sort of stick in the mug, he had a prosthetic leg and everything like that. And he was like, I don't think this is going to work. I don't know why they're doing this, blah, blah, blah. And then he was brought up, wasn't he, to look at it. And they said to him, do you want your stick? And he ignored that completely and got up unaided.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this is in Ep 1 or Ep 2, but where he's playing Sleeping Lion.
Yeah, so they're right at the end of Ep 1.
Yeah. And he's
Brilliant.
really sort of engaged, and it's just nice to talk about a show with no agenda. It was just really sweet, really kind-natured. I wish you'd both seen too. I understand why you haven't, but there's a moment I
will be watching it.
Yeah, I will watch it as well. Even you know, we can talk about, you know, the outcomes of it from another episode. My nephew is coming up to 4, and I could definitely see a lot of what they were saying about the kids, and a lot of what they said and the things they said. Are things, you know, I saw my nephew this week. He's hilarious, you know.
And as an old person, Gary, he does improve your quality of life.
Yeah, as an old person, yeah. So
nobody was playing up to the camera.
No.
It didn't do any of the quote unquote reality.
I think they all forgot that they were on cam, you know, because you've got these people who don't really care. You know, they're either kids and don't think about it, or old people who don't really care at this point. Yeah.
Please, if you don't think it's your sort of thing. I'm sure
it's on all 4. Hopefully it'll be on all 4 for a long time so that people can pick up on
it. The reason I watched it was because I saw so many people say, I mean, I would have thought that you would have liked this regardless, because this is your sort of thing, Luke. Yes. I know you like everything because I think these people are on his level.
Basically, he's quite right. Luke is a 4-year-old.